Welcome back to Joe Stunner Boxing. So Fabio Wardley is the new British heavyweight champ. He knocked out, well, actually stopped Nathan Gorman in 3 rounds, about 8 minutes of action, I think it was. But that doesn't tell the whole story, because this was a war. This was a good fight to watch. Very entertaining while it lasted. First thing you noticed from the opening bell was that Nathan Gorman did not look in shape. He had a big spare tyre around his midriff, whereas Wardley looked in shape. But looks can be deceptive, as we know. And Gorman, for all his, melted vanilla Sunday appearance, he showed some really sharp hands, some very, very impressive, fast, sharp work with the fists. And also his footwork was very, very good. He would step, very economical with his footwork, step into range and then let his hands go. Very varied work, was going to the body. I mean, this was only a minute in, 90 seconds in at the most. And Wardley looked slightly taken back. He didn't fire, I don't think he fired a single jab in that round, but he was definitely setting to the punch, Wardley. And very, very impressive opening round, I thought, from Nathan Gorman, who looked so relaxed as well. He didn't seem to be remotely intimidated by, the big reputation of Wardley, who actually didn't have I think he came from the white collar background, but he didn't have an extensive amateur career, if any at all. And he's learning on the job. And I think I'm right in saying he hasn't been beyond six rounds, Fabio Wardley. But it kind of showed in that first round, because he was being asked all sorts of questions by Gorman, who ironically was going to the body as well as landing a lot of headshots. And you thought, okay, there's a big question mark over Gorman's conditioning, but he looks good. He looks good. Then in the second round, all hell broke loose, because a real war broke out. And this was a war. While it lasted, it was terrifically entertaining. And war is the only word I can think of. Because it started similar to the first round for maybe 40 seconds. I'm doing this off memory because I've only seen this fight once. But Nathan Gorman started as the second round as he finished the first round. And in fact, he shook Wardley quite badly. He landed a sort of around the corner right hand, not quite a roundhouse punch, but a sort of a right hybrid hook cross around the guard, caught Wardley, got his attention, and then Gorman followed up with a left uppercut that seemed to catch Wardley right on the nose and opened a bad cut across the bridge of the nose. His nose seemed to sort of explode somewhere. There was blood coming down his nose. That seemed to press the button that pushed Fabio Wardley into action, because he came straight back. Even though he was shaken and looked, really out of sorts, he suddenly gritted his teeth, banged his gloves together, and went straight at Nathan Gorman, pushed him onto the ropes, and then threaded a very good right cross, which I think the right hand is Wardley's power punch, his pet punch, right on Nathan's jaw, and Nathan goes down. So he's gone from looking like he was really in the ascendancy to being in crisis point. He gets up. I wouldn't say he was spaghetti-legged, but there was cause for concern. He looked a little bit buzzed, a little bit vacant. His legs looked reasonably okay under him. Wardley goes after him again, and the same thing happens. A right hand lands on Gorman's chin. Down he goes. He slides across the ropes. Down he goes. So that's a 10-7 round in the second for Fabio Wardley. I imagine that Gorman's corner, I didn't hear the instructions, but I imagine they were saying, okay, take the third round off if you need it. Get your senses back. Get your feet under you. And for the first minute or so, it looked like that's what he was doing. There was not much offence coming from Nathan Gorman, despite that excellent early round that he had, first round. But he was trying to avoid getting caught. Unfortunately for him, he did get caught. And guess what? It was the right hand again. Yes, it was. And again, threaded right through. puts Nathan over. I think again when Nathan's back hits those ropes, that seemed to be the cue for Wardley to go at him with the right hand, and he couldn't miss with the right hand. That was the real Achilles heel for Nathan Gorman. He couldn't get out of the way of the right hand. Puts him on the floor again. He gets up. Does not look particularly steady. I mean, again, he's moving a little bit. But he doesn't seem to be all there. And then, kind of out of the blue, the towel came in, and the fight was stopped. And Wardley became the new British heavyweight champ. But I thought it was a little bit odd the way that towel came in. I don't know. Maybe they saw something we didn't. Because when the fight was stopped, I think I'm right in saying Gorman had his back to us, back to the camera, so we couldn't really see it. Maybe his eyes were sort of betraying him, even though his legs were stiff, but they weren't spaghetti legged. But anyway, I suppose it's a moot point now because his corner threw the towel in. It was all over, and yeah, a 2.5 round, brilliant war, fantastic entertainment. All credit to Fabio Wardley for becoming the new British champ. Nathan Gorman, he hasn't got a great chin. But if he could get his conditioning better, he could make another run at the British title. He's lost twice now for the British title, once to Daniel Dubois, now to Wardley. But he's got fast hands, he's clearly got a decent boxing IQ, some good schooling. He had a pretty good amateur pedigree. If he'd only knock himself into shape, better shape physically, and maybe be a bit more busy. I mean, I think he's with Wasserman. They should bring him back, bring him on, and go for another run at the British title. Maybe go for the Commonwealth title. But he's not without talent, Nathan Gorman. As far as Wardley's concerned, again, it's more learning on the job. And he was asked some questions in this fight. That first round, he lost that round, and he was badly hurt in the second round. And credit to him, he just gritted down his gum shield and gritted his teeth, and he came back very, very impressively. I mean, the guy's not got much experience, but he looks to me like he's got a fighting heart, and he's got a very, very powerful right hand. Yeah, so he looks vulnerable, but at the same time, very, very dangerous always, and that's always an entertaining ticket selling sort of combination to have. Did you see this fight? If so, leave your comments below. Thanks for watching the video, and if you're new, subscribe to the channel. That'd be great. Hit the like button if you like the video. Yeah, good fight. If you haven't seen it, it's on DAZN. Go check it out. In the meantime, thank you very much. Bye for now.